Very good evening, everyone, and welcome to Berani Bersama Conversations with myself, Rashid, Salleh. For those of you for the first time coming into this Facebook page, Berani Bersama is a community effort by Malaysian personalities and creative individuals who will give us, the audience, a chance to interact with the community and will help elevate and boost morale of our family and friends at home. Of course, this effort is for us to share our knowledge, skills, and abilities via social media. And of course, the most important thing is we are here to raise awareness as well as monetary contributions towards MERCY Malaysia's pandemic fund, the COVID-19 pandemic fund. Of course, for those of you who'd like to donate, please log on to www.launchgood.com/Berani Bersama MY. Right, I'm obviously looking forward to meeting our three performers this evening before they do perform tonight on our Berani Bersama page. So I'm going to bring them straight onto the Berani Bersama conversations. First up, I've known him for quite a while now. I haven't seen him for quite a while, but he's been performing everywhere, including Jakarta, and I didn't know all about it. So let's welcome Fabian Mark Peter. Hi, bro. How are you?
Sup? Rashid.
Our next performer, she's been performing everywhere. I know she's been around performing in Bobo as well. She doesn't know that, but I do. She's a very good singer, and we're going to get to know her here on our talk show. So please welcome Kirana Kay. Hi, Kirana.
Hello.
Hey.
And our final performer, he's no stranger to the music industry. He still looks young, which really irks me, but he is the ever babyface guitarist and composer, Nazrin. Hi, Nazrin. How are you?
Hello, everyone. I'm good.
Oh, great, guys. It was very nice, and thank you for giving us the time to come onto the show and to have a quick conversation with us before you have your own performances tonight. Now, let's start with ladies first. So, not me. So, Kirana first. So, Kirana, for the audiences out there, obviously we know that you do a whole different genre. You do jazz. I've heard you sing jazz before. You actually do pop rock as well, and obviously traditional Malay. How did you start your way into the industry, and why did you why singing?
Well, I love singing since forever, but particularly in KL, I started with jam sessions. And the first jam session I attended was Alexis Jam Sessions. And, I built network with people. And after 3 years of jamming, finally I got my first gig. And I continue until now. I mean, I literally take all sorts of gigs, all sorts of music, but not really super hardcore rock, which is not my thing. But I do almost everything in between. But now now that I'm able to, produce my own single and, pretty much in coming future, probably mini album or what, I'm trying to come out as a contemporary jazz singer-songwriter. I'm still trying, but hopefully it will work out. So I already had my first single on board. It's on Spotify. It's a Malay jazz ballad by the name of Hatiku Girang. So do check it out in Apple Music and Spotify.
There we go. So don't forget to check that one out on that. Before I go to Fabian, because if I speak to Fabian, I'm gonna lose everyone else. So I'll go to Nazrin first. Okay, Nazrin, I would probably call you like babyface assassin, similar to Ole's Guna Solsa, because even though you look young, you've been around for a long time. Now, a lot of people are asking like, why don't you want to sing?
Maybe because I'm not that good. I don't know. But starting out, I always love playing first. I always love instrumental music. So singing comes later, and probably I need to work on my repertoire. But for now, in the time being, I rather play my guitar.
So how for those of them wanting to get into this line, especially if they don't want to sing, they want to just be a composers or even guitarists. What's your advice to them? How do they start, and what's the first thing they should be looking for when they first start off?
listening to a lot of music and work on your craft, work on your skills, and get to know people at jam sessions. That's how I got my break.
Right.
Jam sessions, yeah. And recommendations. When people vouch for you, usually that's how it works. That's how you got gigs.
Ah, okay, cool. Fabian is
Yes.
looking very receptive.
Oh.
You're not only a musician, but you also have you're also a sports journalist as well.
Yeah.
First, I remember when you told me a long time back that you wanted to do this, like not full time, but at least concentrate more on it. What was the motivation to do that, and why? Was it something that you've always wanted to do, or?
I don't know. I mean, I started playing music, when I was still back in Penang more than 10 years ago. It's been more than 10 years since I moved to KL. But I think, music has always been a part of me. And when I started writing my own songs and stuff, I realized that it was something that kept me sane. So, having a day job is great because it pays the bills and stuff, but then you still, if I'm not doing music, then I'm going to be feeling super empty. And I think I have a great balance right now. I have a job that I love, and which also allows me to play music. So it's great. It's been great so far.
Right. Kirana, you mentioned about jazz and wanting to go head towards that. What were your first influences and why? Or rather, who?
Fitzgerald.
Mm-hmm.
Ella Fitzgerald, of course, is my first jazz influence. Not only that, she improvises, but not as much, and the way she scats as well. Because I love scatting. I love trying new things. I mean, I think my confidence is what I should thank God for, and Ella is basically my, my reference in a lot of jazz styles as well. In Brazilian jazz wise, I would love Tom Jobim because of his great music. Yeah, so those are my references, and many more actually, but those are the two main ones.
Okay, I'm going to ask you something which I'll ask Nazrin. It's like, do you have any rituals when you before you prepare for any performances? Because everyone has different rituals. For me, before I go on stage, I retch, like I dry retch. I don't know why, but it happens every time before I get on stage. It's really weird thing. I shouldn't have told you guys that, but never mind. So, what kind of preparation, mental preparation or physical preparation do you do before you do a performance?
Just stay quiet, I guess. Yeah, being alone, calm myself down, not thinking too much, because most of the time where it's before I go on stage, I get nervous. So throughout the years, I figured that I should just calm down, few minutes, maybe just alone in the green room or something, until the call time, something like that. I would do that. Yeah.
So that's your thing. You just keep quiet. You don't want anyone to disturb you. Do you play any music or just shut everyone out, or?
I guess I just shut everyone out. So no music before stage, because that will make me more nervous, because I would overthink. Yeah.
Okay, because it's really fun, because this is the most I get to speak to him, or rather the most he gets to speak to everyone else as well, unless it's close friends. Or Fabian, true. Now, Fabian, what about you? What's your mental preparation? Because are you out there like smoking 3 packs before you start?
Not really, but I guess for me the most important thing is being on time. I never like being late. Rushing for a show or having to think about other stuff before getting on stage is a big no for me. So what I usually do is I book my shows earlier. So at least a month in advance. So usually when I'm performing, I would take the day off from work, so that I don't need to worry about having to send stories or whatever.
Right.
But it gets really stressful to have to send a story before you get on stage. So that's one thing. I'll take the day off so that I have time to myself, and then I make sure I get there super early, like on time for sound check, so that I'm done early. And I must have my park session with my bandmates. We'll just go down to the park, and all of us will chill after sound check. Yeah.
Park session, huh?
Yeah,
Park session. What is a park session between you guys?
So we'll chill at the park. We'll buy some keropok. We'll have some drinks. Just chill out, talk about stuff, talk about music, and then we look at the time, and at least half an hour before the show starts, we'll get inside, get inside, get ready.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Okay, park session. I'll remember to ask you that
That's
next
the first.
time. I know. Just like that is very much the first. Kirana, for you, is there apart from the usual having to make up and getting your clothes ready, what do you do mentally before you begin a performance?
Okay, few hours before performing, I try to not to communicate unnecessarily over phone. And as well, I will silent my phone about 1 or 2 hours before performance. I will do anything to get myself busy, not as in listening to music. For me, as a woman myself, sometimes I'll take selfies, boosting my self-confidence. And this is another weird thing that, you might be not be familiar with, which is I like to spray myself tons of perfume until I smell myself. Then I can go confidently on stage.
Wow.
It sounds weird, isn't it?
So you go what? Do you go through like half a bottle each performance?
Not really.
It gets very expensive.
Yeah.
Probably 1/10. Yeah. But I spray perfume a lot
The bottle.
until I can smell myself. That's my confidence.
Okay. All right. Okay. That's quite unique because everyone has their own preparations before a show. Like I said, mine is retching and yours is perfume. So yeah. So to each his
I
own.
would
But as long
spray before each set. If it's 3 sets, it will be 3 times spraying perfume the whole evening. I don't know. It's just my habit. Like it sounds weird, but that's my way of. When I smell good, I feel good. That's me. So, yeah.
So
Sounds
like three sets. That means there is a half a bottle, lah.
I would say so.
Expensive.
Depends.
May we know what perfume do you use? I mean, but she's so upset. What perfume do you use?
Coming in, actually.
Oh, okay. What perfume do you use?
Yeah. I love Versace. I love CK.
Okay, there's another call coming in. Versace. Okay. All right. So, no, Nazrin. Okay, this is where a lot of musicians will ask in terms of a carpenter needs his tools. Obviously, you have your. There's 2 parts to this question. Probably the same questions for you as well, Fabian. What kind of, for example, guitar is your favorite, and how do you take care of it? Because there's a lot of people who use it but don't know how to maintain, and so that's two parts of the question. So Nazrin,
Favorite guitar? That's a tough question, man. I like any kinds of guitar. So, but I always find that nylon strings. It's the sound is quite nice because it's very mellow and
Right.
it's not too hard like these steel strings on the acoustics. So sometimes when I'm at home, I've played my nylon string guitar more than my electric guitar, so my steel acoustic guitar.
in terms of
Yeah.
brand
Brand.
that you usually, or are you not fussy about what type of brand of guitar that you use? Like
You-
Fender, for example.
Oh, okay. Wow.
No, because people like, they either go for the best or there's something that they've been used to. Some it's like guitar kapur pun okay lah, boleh, as long as the sound comes out all right. So
Yeah. Currently, I'm using Yamaha guitars
Mhm.
for most of my shows.
yes, I know
then-
why. That's where I was getting to.
Yeah. Smart move. Yeah. Well, that's because I'm Yamaha Music Malaysia's ambassador.
Right.
But before I was approached by them, I already been using Yamaha guitars for at least 5 years before I got the deal. So
Okay. So
Yeah.
lucky Yamaha.
Yeah,
for
lucky
those
me.
for those of you who don't know, Nazrin is the Yamaha Music Malaysia ambassador. The currently, so they're probably going to keep him forever anyway. So it doesn't
That's
matter.
so cool, man.
Yeah, I'm just a lucky guy, man. I got the deal.
Yeah. It's never luck. It's talent also and perseverance. Fabian. So again, for you, you're all the way
Weapon
from
of choice.
when you're doing your jamming on, and I saw one old YouTube one with the dog barking while you're trying.
Yo,
We heard the
yeah,
music,
yeah.
but we couldn't hear your voice, but the guitar. So
Yeah.
what's your choice?
Okay, so it's interesting that you're asking me this, with someone like Nazrin here, who's an ambassador. I think, lots of people will have their preferences, but as a musician, I think your music instrument grows with you. Eventually, the more you play, and then you understand the tone, you understand the sound, and then it becomes yours, right? So since you talked about that video, that was more than 8 years or something, and
Yes.
that was probably my first. That was my first quality guitar, but then it didn't have a brand. It was a handmade guitar though, from the Philippines. So, and I like my acoustics full. Also because of just for aesthetic purposes, I don't like guitars with like a cutaway, so I like my acoustics full. And then I started off playing solo, and like what Nazrin said, so he likes nylon strings, but I like steel strings, and I like full dreadnoughts because of the full sound and also the kind of style of music that I play. And then recently I formed a band, right? So I play in a band called Katrika,
Right.
and it's electric. So I'm experimenting with like electric for like the first time, and I bought a guitar secondhand. It's an Epiphone 1966 Century. It's the same guitar that James Bay uses.
Right.
And
Great.
it's interesting because it's a guitar that only has one pickup. It's a P90, and you only have two knobs to play with, which is your volume and your tone. And then I also have my orange amp because I'm very much into like Brit rock music, and I like that crunch. So it's really about the kind of music you play, and it's what works for you. And so right now, I have got 3 guitars. When I'm playing acoustic, then I have my Sigma, which is a full solid mahogany guitar. And when I'm playing with the band, it's my Epiphone Century and my orange amp.
Right.
Great. Wow.
Okay, awesome. Kirana, can you hear us? Is she on? Is she off? Never mind. What I'll do is I'll quickly take her off stream first and talk to you guys. Let's talk about what we're going to be you guys going to be performing tonight. Nazrin, can you tell us what you curated for tonight and the reason why you chose the composition?
Tonight I will be playing my composition from my first EP. It's titled Homecoming. So it's basically acoustic guitar instrumental. The reason I choose for this Berani Bersama feature is I like this song. When I compose it, I think of it as a soundtrack. A soundtrack for if I ever get hired to do a movie, that would be like my resume. Hey, this is my music.
Sound.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think it suits this video thing that we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
I guess the melody. So I don't know how to explain it like technically, but I just love the melody and how it flows.
Right.
So I hope the viewers will like it.
Okay. Kirana, everyone pose for
Oh.
her picture. No, we don't mind. I mean, you go ahead and do it first. Let's go and do it.
Okay.
Let's
All
pose for
right, all
her.
right.
Okay.
For the Instagram story.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
Doing it live. No, never mind.
Sorry.
Because, no worries, no worries. Obviously, earlier we were asking them about their instruments and all that. For you, Kirana, do you have a particular mic? I know some guys. Who was it? I know some hosts bring their own microphones. I know someone who has a gold one. I can't remember who it is. Was it
Wow,
Dato
gold.
Azmi? Was it Dato Azmi? No, it's somebody. Was it one of somebody has his own microphone, his or her microphone. Do you have a preference of what type of microphones or what kind of sounds that comes out? Because jazz obviously is also quite unique. So what are your thoughts on instruments, especially when microphones?
Let's start with the gold microphone from my experience. I saw Bunga Citra Lestari, this Indonesian singer.
Yes.
She uses it. As well for Malaysian, it's Ifa Razia. I don't know whether you heard of her.
Yep.
Ifa Razia, this pop dangdut Malay mainstream singer. She also
Okay.
uses a gold microphone, and I heard it cost 5 digits. That's what I heard. As for myself, first it's affordability, of course. Brands that I used are Shure and Sennheiser, but I love Sennheiser more. I'm quite fortunate that I managed to get myself a new Sennheiser before the pandemic came.
Oh,
It was
good.
yeah. I loved Sennheiser because of the the I don't know when the soundman EQ it and added more bass to it. I like more bass on my mic so it can support my lower notes, and I don't like too much reverb. So for microphones, I would prefer Shure Beta higher, and Sennheiser like E945 9 series or probably higher. But again, it depends on our affordability. Whatever mic works, actually, it depends on the sound system. Yeah, that's how it
Yes.
works. So,
Okay,
yeah.
that's very, very true. Before I carry on, just a quick hello to some guys who've commented. David Lyons says, a friend of mine from all the way from Australia is watching this, so saying hello.
I
And
couldn't see
Prasad,
any. Yeah.
yeah, you'll be able to see on the actual live thing, but sometimes you can see the thing. And Prasad saying, looking good, Fabes. So
Yeah,
I
another
don't know
newsman there.
which part of looking good it is, but it must be some part somewhere. Okay, Fabes, tonight's performance. How did you plan this, and what's in store for the audience?
Okay, yeah. So what I did was I put together a set of like my originals and also a bunch of covers that I like. Like I mentioned earlier, I'm very much into like Brit rock music, indie rock and stuff. So I played a bunch of covers in there. And it's interesting because we are all stuck at home. We've got all this time in our hands. And I was thinking, because I did a couple of live streams during this whole MCO period, but I'm just stuck in one position, right? And since I have my girlfriend here with me, we were like, hey, let's do something, So we played around with like multiple positions, and so that was fun. That was fun, the whole editing process, just staying awake, getting it done and shit.
Oh, this could be fun. Kirana, so
Yes.
what can I know you're busy tonight. You probably got probably like a couple more live streams, but for the Berani Bersama page performance tonight, what can we expect?
Tonight I would dedicate more on Indonesian and Malaysian music. I won't be singing originals this time. I'm gonna be, like I said, I'm gonna be focusing on Indonesian and Malaysian music.
Mhm.
And as well, Raya songs, of course, is the season of the year. So this is the best time. What else can we do apart from singing Raya songs? Like we can't even go balik kampung, right? So that's the only way to enjoy Raya. So that's about it. Yeah.
Yeah, in fact, there's only 2 more weeks until Raya, and
Yep.
we still don't know whether we're allowed to leave yet. But it's going to be
Yeah.
quite sad. Anyway, so what's the first thing you're going to do, Nazrin, when all this is over? And I mean exactly immediately after this is over. What is the first thing you're going to do? Have a thought, guys. What's the first thing? It's not about I'm going to go. The first thing that you're going to do when this is over.
I'm gonna get myself a good banana leaf meal. And that's the truth.
Okay, got it.
Right.
Fabian?
I'm gonna make a trip back to Penang to meet my family, man.
Oh,
And you haven't seen them. I mean, obviously you've WhatsApp call or you've called them.
Yeah,
on video.
but still, not the same as being at home, right?
Right.
now I feel bad.
No, don't feel bad. And what about you, Kirana?
I'll do fine.
I'll definitely be going to Nilai to see my sister since she's also not flying this season. So at least we can spend time together. Yeah. And of course, I'm going to apply busking license.
Oh, now that's interesting. Why?
Yeah. I mean, we are not sure whether we can get gigs or not, so busking is the best way. We can still entertain ourselves musically and make a little penny out of it, so why not? But we still need a license anyway, so once
That's
all of
true.
this is over, I will get myself a busking license, and probably I'm gonna drag Nazrin if he wants lah.
But in all seriousness, there will be no public gatherings for at least, I don't know, 6 months or a year, right? So not
So do
so
you think
sure.
that-
Yeah.
Does that mean you guys will have to, on a more serious note? I mean, you guys will have to change the way you perform, and do you think that event companies or at least clients would like to see more online stuff? So does that mean you will have to rely on better internet connection? Do you think that might go a certain way, even though the MCO will be lifted, but people still need entertainment? People say, these entertainers, the events. I don't believe that. They're like, the first thing they'll cut is entertainment. But people need entertainment in their lives to be able to still move forward. Why do people watch television? Why do yes, we've got esports, we've got, we could have animations taking over. But you guys, everyone, the world still needs live performances, whether it's physical or on online. So do you think you may get those kind of jobs now? Because I had a BB Capo who performed in a Zoom party event. She performed in a Zoom party. Yes, she had a bit of a lag, but she still performed. So do you think your chances? Do you think you can work that way? Who wants to go first?
That's a really tough question, and it had already given me sleepless nights of anxieties. Let me be honest. Because it's a really tough one. I'm still contemplating until now whether I'm still gonna publicly online continue music or not. To one point, I feel like I want to take a break, but in the end of the day, singing is the only thing that I'm gonna love. I also plan of finding other means of jobs to survive. I did have experience in customer service and any other fields that I worked in before I started music full time. That's another alternative. But online wise, I already started putting notes like, if you like what you're watching, feel free to donate. Terpaksa lah,
Yeah, no shame in that and no harm in that, because even some guys who are doing performances, I know the young guys are doing.
We cannot afford to give free entertainment forever.
Yes, that's right.
bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think people do understand, because at the end of the day, you're good at what you do, and you should be paid for what you do, because it's like any other job, except that it's just society sees it differently. That's all. Nazrin, you were about to say something just now.
Oh, like recently I did a PayPal tip jar thing on one of my streams. So I'm gonna look more into getting more views and perhaps more tips, because not a lot of let's be frank, not a lot of people willing to spend going to shows before MCO. So now it's a challenge trying to get other means of income from doing this online show. And I think all creative individuals, artists, musicians, we have to figure out a way of sustaining throughout this year. Hopefully we overcome that.
Yes, that's
my
right.
thoughts. Yeah.
Now, Fabian, you're on both sides. You're also a journalist, albeit sports, but you're also a journalist, and you see this kind of things happening, and you get to write about stuff, even with sportsmen who are struggling. So,
exactly.
And you're on both spectrums. So, how do you explain that, and how do you motivate yourself to keep going?
I think it's very interesting. I mean, it's great that we're talking about this right now. I mean, this whole MCO thing has kind of put us in a situation where we can't just sit idle, right? We have to look at ways, and being artists ourselves, we have to think of ways to sort of come up with content and stuff. So, like, as simple as what we're doing right now, coming up with programs like this. I guess at first it started off with people putting their PayPal links and stuff. But then then you see people also coming up with plans like selling tickets, buying tickets to watch your show. So it's a ticketed event. So I think that's also one way to go about it. Like, whether or not these people come and watch you live, but as long as they buy the ticket, you're already getting the money. But then, if you go online, you see big artists. I think I just saw Alina Murang posting on her Instagram account that Chris Martin was playing a live show at home, and she wasn't asleep, and she requested a song, and he played her song. So you look at big artists like this who are also doing live shows, and I mean, it's the only thing we have right now, right? We are all stuck at home, and we have internet.
Yes.
We can't really go out and play a live show. Of course, we miss that. I miss that. Nothing comes close to playing live.
Everybody does.
Yeah. We it's safe to say we all do. But yeah, I mean, well, my goodness, we're over time. But it doesn't matter. On a more somber note, I mean, I'm glad that you guys are able to have this conversation, are able to talk about it, because we know there's a lot more out there who are struggling. And no, they don't have internet. They'll probably just have their phone. And it's good that you guys are doing this. I say go ahead and do it. Get the PayPal link out. I think it's time to be, I wouldn't say thick-skinned, but you got to be brave. If you don't, be brave, and you've got the whole community around you to help you. And that's the kind of things, It's not just about donating to our frontliners, but we are also there to help each other as well. So hopefully the community realizes this and helps each other out, without having to find like 2 or 3 other jobs, because yes, it's going to be hard, but I think we should all come together. But I really look forward to your performances tonight. So
thank you.
Please have a show, break a leg, not literally, but as we say in theatre, have a really good show. And thank you very much for joining me on Berani Bersama Conversations. So guys,
thank you so much.
Thank you so much. It was so much fun, man.
Thank you.
It's an honor. Thank you for having me.
No, it's an honor for us for coming to our show. So we'll show it now. Of course, for those of you out there who'd like to know, they'll be coming on from 9 p.m. onwards, I think. So please watch out for the scheduling on our Berani Bersama pages, and they'll be sharing on their pages as well. So catch them tonight because it's going to be a really, really good performance. So from myself, Rashid Salleh, thank you very much for watching Bersama Berani Bersama conversation. I say it all the time, but I still get it wrong. All right. Thank you, guys.
Cheers, guys.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Thank you.
Okay,
Right,
bye-bye.
bye.